All right, we are live. Thank you, everybody, tuning in uh, across the world here virtually to our 2020 Beautification Awards for the Richmond Highway Corridor. My name is Evan Kaufman. I'm the Executive Director of the Southeast Fairfax Development Corporation. Our organization is a nonprofit community development organization focused on stimulating economic development on the corridor. And so we were involved with the planning for the BRT lines and the new transformation that's going to be happening with the Embark plan. And we're also working to, we got a couple of cool projects, some placemaking projects that I'm going to talk about at the end. And we're also working to stimulate some new development on the corridor that's going to really be congruent with the plans and the designs that are coming out of the Embark plan. And so this awards process is something that we started a little while ago to help incentivize people to make the outside of their businesses and residences look attractive, to provide that curb appeal. And we actually have an entire committee at the SFDC dedicated to that. It's our Marketing and Appearance Committee, Marketing and Appearance Committee called MCAT. And this year, we obviously having to do live. We used to have a venue with food and drinks and a lot of networking. Obviously, because of COVID, we're doing things a little differently, but we're hoping to reach possibly more people and to be able to keep this tradition alive of celebrating people who do a really good job of beautifying their area. And we also did a virtual voting process this year, and we had close to 300 people vote, the public vote on their top first, second, and third choices for 3 different categories, which I'll get into in just a sec. But right now I want to bring in Dick Knapp, who's on our committee. He lives in the Route 1 corridor area. He is one of the most dedicated person I've seen to making sure that the corridor looks good at all times. And we actually have a drive, a little tour of the corridor coming up in a couple of weeks with some of the county staff to talk about the landscaping going on. But he's going to talk a little more about the awards process and Mary Thonen, who the awards was named after. How you doing, Dick?
Just fine. And
good.
Thank you, Evan, for inviting me here. Yes, Katie Fike and I co-chair the MCAP committee, and I've been on the board and involved with this since 2011 personally. And before that, I was involved not as a board member, but as an interested party. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Mary Thonen, or how we arrived at a person called Mary Thonen. In the early 20s, we had the National Highway Transportation Act, and they just kind of drew some lines, starting with a 1 over on the East Coast and like 100 or 101 over on the West Coast. And they ran it from Maine down to Key West. And at the beginning, it was just cow paths. There were big gaps in it. And Richmond Highway, as it's called now, or Route 1, developed over time as transportation needs increased and as funding was available to connect the various sections. So we here from the Beltway to Fort Belvoir are very interested in what type of a corridor we have. And Mary Thonen was very concerned about it because if you were here in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, it wasn't real nice. However, through her initiatives, one was through beautification, but she started very slowly. She started with, let's see what we can do to encourage people to make their property look good that abuts on Richmond Highway. So she was very active in the 80s and the 90s. And when she died, a certain amount of money was set aside to fund the Beautification Awards. And the Beautification Awards are conducted by a number of our staff and our members of our committee who go up and down the highway, Richmond Highway, in June, July, August, looking at the properties, taking a couple of pictures from different angles, And then we let the community vote on which ones they think in the various categories is the best that they can see from those views. But Mary Thonen was so dedicated to this that she would go to the businesses and ask them if there's a way that they could plant some flowers or something out to the median. She also was instrumental in getting Fairfax County to identify areas that were our commercial areas, and in those commercial areas have Fairfax County commit funds to put in trees and bushes and cut the medians or the sides where Fairfax County owned the land, so that it gave us an attractive feature. So if you go up and down Richmond Highway from the Beltway down to Fort Belvoir, at least down to Sacramento is where it pretty much stops. But down there, you're going to see very nice landscaping. And in between some of those, you're going to see some not so nice landscaping. And that's because Fairfax County took those areas and took the initiative to plant trees, shrubs, flowers, and so forth. And Mary Thonen was very instrumental in getting them to do that because in the gaps between, that's what VDOT does. And so we don't want to say anything bad about VDOT, but there's frequently a demarcation line that's obvious that we have. We've been in the Fairfax County area. Now we're in VDOT. Now we're back in Fairfax County. So Mary Thonen was very sentimental about this, and we've called the awards her awards the Beautification Awards. So that's pretty much the story of Mary Thonen.
That's pretty cool. And I mean, interesting stat. I know that is beautification and facades on buildings can actually increase sales by over 20%. So there's a big difference between a place, that looks a little run down or, doesn't have nice plantings. And by adding that, you can actually increase the sales of the businesses, makes people want to move and live there. And then I'm sure you're, excited about this next transformation on the corridor where there's going to be sidewalks and even more planters and trees. Right. And I guess people, if people see you out there, pruning some of the bushes and cutting the branches, they can just wave and know that you're with the committee. You're just doing your job. Well, thank you, Dick, for being with us and explaining that past. It's always great to see someone who's really passionate about where they live and wants to see it nice. And I guess, you driving through the area, you want it to look nice so that you feel like you're coming home to a nice community.
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to present the winners here. And I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Dick, again. You want to say goodbye to all your followers, people watching you from all over the world?
All of those.
Okay.
Well, the separation anxiety is going to be severe, but I'll try to make it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dick.
All right.
And we're going to do a quick presentation here. And so these are the 2020 Beautification Awards. And we did go up and down the corridor, took pictures of residential, hospitality, and retail. And in the residential category, we had 3 winners. Third place award goes to the Cityside Huntington Metro Apartments. Second place goes to the Skyview Apartments. And then our first place winner, who we're going to be interviewing here in just a sec, are the Montebello Condominiums, who have always done a really nice job. I always love driving by there and seeing all of the beautiful landscaping done there. And I'm going to go through all the categories, and then we're going to bring a couple of them on. The hospitality category, we have third place with the Hampton Inn and Suites. We have second place with the Candlewood Suites. And then our first place winner, who we're going to have on the call today, is the Quality Inn on the Richmond Highway. And they've been waiting for you. Their number is there if you want to call them and stay there so you can see the beautiful landscaping yourself. And the retail category here, we have third place. We have Campbell Ferrara, which has some really nice landscaping out front. Second place, the Mount Vernon Plaza. which we're going to be touching on a little bit later about a project we're working on there. And then first place, Costco. They've got a great historical monument in the front, as well as great landscaping. And we're going to be talking with them as well. So that's just the quick presentation here. But I want to bring in Montebello now. And we have John and George here representing Montebello. How are you guys doing? Thank you for being with us today virtually.
Thank you for having us, Evan.
So tell me a little bit about your landscaping there. How do you get it to look so nice? Is it both of you guys that are out there kind of cutting it and keeping it nice every day?
I wish. We occasionally walk out and watch, but we have several wonderful vendors involved.
Okay.
Almost all of our projects are designed by Natural Resource Design. They do the design and the project oversight. And Community Landscaping does the actual plant procurement and installation, and they do a fabulous job. And of course, do the maintenance on the entire property.
Yeah, it looks. How often are they out there doing the maintenance?
A couple times a week. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And what do you think that kind of landscaping adds to living there? I mean, the value that kind of adds to the residents.
A good answer to that is that we spend approximately $500,000 to $750,000 a year on our grounds program, including our woodland areas.
Wow.
So we have a pretty serious commitment to the work of the place.
And the return is twofold. The areas near the buildings and some gardens we put in the last couple of years are, of course, by most of the residents. The front is seen by people as they drive by, and prospects or people being brought over by a realtor as they approach the property. And
Right.
It has obvious appeal.
Yeah, yeah. Now, are those all condos?
Yes.
Okay. And are you guys still have any for sale in there, or are they all
There are always a few for sale and possibly a few for rental. There
Okay.
are 989 actual units on the premises, and I think about 230 or so are rental properties.
We turn over about 10% a year in terms of people that move out and new buyers coming in. We lost him.
Evan, we lost your audio.
Oh, sorry. Do you both live there?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
I'm the president of the board of directors, and George is the general manager and runs the place.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So what do you think about the new plans? I'm sure you've heard about the Embark plans, the BRT line that's coming in, and the changes along Route 1. How do you feel about that?
We've been briefed, sat in on a presentation both for Embark and for the North Gateway area, and we like everything we've seen.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to make it a lot more of a walkable community where you feel you can walk along the highway and easily get to the bus station. And hopefully with some of the new development, there'll be a lot more mix of commercial, residential spaces, and kind of just I think it's going to make it feel more of a tight community with the designs. And there's a couple new initiatives that they're trying to get the undergrounding of the utility poles, as well as possibly lowering the speed limit that will allow for some better design features and more landscaping up and down the corridor as well. Well, I appreciate you guys spending the money to keep it looking the way it does. That's a significant investment, but it seems to be paying off, because if you live somewhere, you want to feel like you're coming home to a beautiful area, a beautiful neighborhood. And I think it definitely changes the overall just experience that you have when you're coming to those condos. So is there anything else you'd like to say? And I think we dropped off a plaque there. Do you have the plaque? Very cool. So is that going to go in your condo, John? Is that going on your
It's
mantle?
going to join a wall, and I guess it goes next to the plaque that you guys gave us last year.
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys won last year as well. Well, that's great. Thank you again for your work to beautify the corridor, and we appreciate your time today. And hopefully people will know that is the prime place to live with some of the best landscaping on the corridor.
Well,
So,
we thank you very much.
thank you. All right. And we are going to move to our next winner here in the hospitality category. We have the Quality Inn Mount Vernon. Done an amazing job. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing well. So tell me about your landscaping project. Who manages it for you? How much do you guys invest in that, and why is it important for you guys to have it looking that way?
Well, it's RL in Landscaping Company, and I've been here 25 years, and they've been doing it for the 25 years that I've been here.
Oh, wow.
And they come in seasonally. They'll come in the summertime, and they'll change all the flowers out and put in whatever's right for summer, and then they'll do the same thing for fall and winter. They're constantly changing the landscape with what the time of the year is. And I have an owner who knows the importance of curb appeal and landscaping, not only to the community, but to our business. So he's on top of it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of competition on the corridor for lodging.
Right. Yes, there is.
Yeah. So you really have to stand out. And I think landscaping is a very effective way to do that. I mean, it affects your pictures people see, online on your website. And then when they get there, it just has, a very high class feel to it. And then you kind of know.
The guests like the feeling of being in the country, although we're not really country. They like that feeling.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's a good sign that if somebody takes care of the grounds around their property, that they're probably going to take care of the rooms and the amenities inside the property as well, because it, should go all the way across.
That's correct.
So tell me a little bit about some of your offerings at the Quality Inn, if people are interested in maybe staying on the corridor.
Well, we have 89 rooms. Most of them are double queen size beds, but we do have some kings. And we try to add a new amenity every year. So
Okay.
We have quite a few. We have 42-inch flat screen TVs. We have coffee makers, ironing boards, hair dryers, shaving mirrors. We have a sidewalk cafe that we added one year so the guests could go outside and have their morning coffee and newspaper in the spring and summertime. And then we have a barbecue grill with picnic tables. So if they want to have a little family get together, they could. It's right outside the pool area. Although our pool is seasonal in this area, it works fine to be seasonal.
Right.
And we offer breakfast and newspapers, and we have free complimentary Wi-Fi, and there's multiple USB plugs in the room so that everybody can plug in and charge. There's microwave and refrigerator.
Wow. So how much could you get me a special deal if I just wanted to move in and stay there?
Well, we don't really have people who live here.
Okay.
They come in day by day.
Yeah.
We're transient, so it's a day-by-day business. But they actually don't live here.
Okay. And I guess I'm guessing COVID has impacted your business a little bit?
Yes, very much so. It's so different. It's starting from the beginning. We're starting from the basics like we used to do without computers. And we're just like... we're not serving a full continental breakfast anymore. There's no buffet. You can't help yourself anymore. It's all prepackaged now and put into a bag and called a grab-and-go bag where you'll come in and get it and take it out. Even housekeeping service has changed. We don't go into the rooms daily, and that's for the guest protection and our employees' protection. They don't go in and clean daily, but they will supply with the supplies you may need. We call every night and ask if they're going to need new towels or soap or trash removed. They just don't go in and do the full cleaning.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that have changed. The other things that have changed, of course, is the hand sanitizing, the washing our hands, wearing a mask. Just like everybody else, we're all doing that right now, trying to make the guests feel comfortable. We want them to travel. We want them to come back to Alexandria. We want them to come to visit our area, and we want them to feel like they can, because we're trying to do our part here.
Yeah. What do you think? Are there going to be some new amenities that you're going to have to add because of COVID? Maybe like rental spacesuits or bubbles that people can walk around in?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's going to end really fast. I'm hoping that this is not going to be long term. And right now, we're not even looking to change until maybe 22.
Yeah. Although I have stayed at some hotels, and I do feel particularly safe at larger hotels like a Quality Inn, because you know that the corporate is going to make sure that the right, sanitizing equipment is used and that things, because, it's a huge liability and they want to make sure that the guests feel safe there. So I would definitely feel safe staying at, the Quality Inn.
Right. That's the best part about franchises. They're going to have the mandated programs that you have to do, and those they come right from the top. The things that you have to do in order to make the guests feel safe and at home and warm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for making your building look great and making us all appreciate that scenery, driving by on the corridor, and also providing a great amenity for people to be able to stay and visit all of our historical amenities and retail amenities on the corridor. Hotels are such a valuable asset for tourism, and we hope if you're doing well, that means the corridor is doing well. So we're gonna be working to get you more business, get more people to stay in the corridor, so that we can all thrive.
Sure. We want that.
Yeah.
And I want to tell the community, thank you for voting for us too.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for being on with us today, and congratulations on the award. And we'll look forward to probably another award next year if you guys keep going at it like you are, which I think will happen.
Yeah. So just come and see us.
I will stop by. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now our final award in the retail category. We have Costco, one of my favorite places to shop. And we've got a couple people on from Costco here. We got the team, Mount Vernon Costco, and Jenna. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can't hear. I think the team is on mute there. Here we go. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So who all do we have here?
I'm Jenna. I'm the general manager.
Okay.
And I'm Brian. I'm the AGM, the assistant.
And I'm Chantel, the membership manager.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us. You guys have a lot of locations. The Mount Vernon one isn't your only location. And do you do this kind of landscaping at all of your locations, or does the Mount Vernon get a special treatment? I mean, obviously all of them don't have that historical marker that you have in the front. But what's different about the Mount Vernon location, and how do you guys keep it looking so good?
I think it's usually based on the GM when it first opens, or as the years go on, what kind of foliage is planted outside. I know a lot of times we have a garden center every year, and if we've got plants that we can no longer sell, we a lot of times end up planting them around the parking lot because we don't.
Oh, wow.
I would feel bad. It's a living thing. And a lot of times we feel bad throwing them out. So that's how you see we end up with various. We have blueberry bushes in the back. We have apple trees. We have rose bushes. We've got so much in that parking lot. It's like a hidden treasures around every corner.
That would be cool if you planted a bunch of like blueberry bushes and we can go blueberry picking around the Costco, like this event, and everybody just shows up and does their blueberry and strawberry and apple picking and stuff. You should send that up to corporate, see if they'll go for it. We can do a whole thing around that. Well, that's cool. So I guess you're involved then as the general manager a lot with the just making sure that everything is looking good and taken care of?
Yeah, everything's got to be clean. Every single morning I do a drive around the parking lot. They do the same thing, in the evening as they leave as well. We always find surprises in the morning. Somehow somebody's left a toilet behind, or some of the strangest things I found in the parking lot. But I mean, it takes a whole team of people to be able to keep that parking lot not only landscaped but clean.
Yeah. Well, do you want to give a shout out to anybody in particular? Do you have a head maintenance guy or assistant that really helps with that?
So I have an amazing maintenance team at the building. There is Patty, Mirna, and who else goes in the parking lot? Alba. Yeah. So the three of them they're the ones who really go into the parking lot. So I'll drive up in the morning. It's still not light out, and they'll be outside cleaning the parking lot. We do have a lot sweeper, but they take so much pride in their job that they come outside and do the cleaning before the lot sweeper even gets there.
And what time is that at?
Usually right before 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if we could show up there, if anybody wants to show up there with some donuts and coffee for them at 6:30, I'm sure they would love that surprise for doing such a good job. Well, that's cool. Well, tell us about Costco and maybe how. I know, don't hold it against me, but I don't have a personal membership. My mom does, and I always mostly go with her. I mostly make her pay for the stuff too when I go in there, because we just get in bulk, and we'll split some stuff. We'll split it, and I'll say, yeah, I'll pay you later, and then I never do. But how do you become a member at the Costco? Can you just come in and talk with somebody, or you do it online, or how does that work?
You can do it online,
Okay.
or you can come in. We have a membership department, and you come in and you just speak with us, and we'll let you know which membership works best for you and your household.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can come by during business hours, and we'll take care of you. You can
Very
use your
cool.
mom as a reference if you like also.
I think she's trying to sell you a membership.
Yeah, you can get your own membership.
It's not a hard sell, because I really enjoy coming in there. And in fact, we came in there not too long ago, and you guys actually gave us a cool donation to be able to help buy some stuff. Since we're a nonprofit, you guys support a lot of charities and nonprofits in the area as well, which I think is really cool. I think all, large corporations should try to support the communities that they're in, and you guys do a good job of that. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're glad. I'm sorry, I said that we are glad that we can help.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, is there anything else you want to say about the community? Have you guys heard about the Embark plan and the changes that are coming in the new bus rapid transit system? Yeah. You think that's going to be a benefit for your business?
I think so. I really do think so. It's going to be interesting. I know there's going to be a lot of construction going on. I know VDOT has been in our parking lot, surveying the area and everything, and doing soil samples and all the rest of that. But I think it's going to be exciting. I think it'll give the neighborhood a nice upscale feel to it.
And I think that access too, maybe a lot of people, might not have access to automobiles, and they could take the bus a little bit easier and come up, get their goods, and then take it back with them on the bus.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Also, you guys do have the large stuff. It's not like you're coming out of there with a little bag, a tiny little bag.
We lost
you. We lost you, Evan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Ask people to hold your stuff, on their laps, and you got all these boxes coming into the bus. Well, that very cool. Let me see if I have any other questions. Is there anything else you guys want to say, or?
Well, we want to say thank you. We take a lot of pride. I'm speaking for the whole team when I say we take a lot of pride in how the building looks, both inside and out, because a big part of the member experience is that shopping experience, and that's a safe, neat, and clean environment for them to shop in. So
absolutely, and I think a lot of time, landscaping doesn't get recognized as much, but it does play a huge part in the appearance of an area and a neighborhood. And so by, beautifying your business, you make the whole neighborhood look good. And I think it makes it more livable and attractive, and definitely gets more people shopping there. We were looking at a site to possibly do like an outdoor movie. Oh, there's the award there. Very cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We were looking to do like an outdoor. We're still thinking about doing like one of those drive-in movies. You might have heard people doing that because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so I think we tried to talk to Costco corporate about using your parking lot, but I don't think that they were good with it. So I don't know now, since I have the in with you guys, I'm wondering if we can nudge a little bit and see if, we can make something happen. But if not,
We lost you again.
sorry, my mic keeps going out, but thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So we are going to close up here. And here we go. Thank you, Jenna. All right. So in closing, we do want to congratulate all of our winners, not just the first place, but also second and third. And there was a lot of businesses in all the categories that did a really good job. And we just appreciate everybody making their properties look good, because it does affect the corridor, the way you feel about being on the corridor and driving through the corridor. And I'm really looking forward to the enhancements that are coming up with the new BRT line. And in closing, I do want to share a project that we've been working on. It's still in the works, but I do want to give a sneak peek. And so we're looking at ways, since there is, a lot of asphalt on the corridor, and there's not as many places to kind of hang out, what we call third places or community spaces, where you can kind of sit and hang out, maybe eat, have a picnic. And so we're working with actually the Mount Vernon Plaza Shopping Center, which I believe won a second place award. So a member of one of our committees, the MCAP committee, has come up with a really cool concept that I'm going to share here, if I can share my screen, for kind of a parklet inside of a shopping center. And so this is the first time we're sharing this. We still have a couple of hurdles to get through, but will be in the middle of the Mount Vernon Plaza Shopping Center, and we're going to convert kind of a place that has a couple of tables and chairs now, but it's not really activated. Not too many people use it, and so we really want to amp up that space and make it kind of a community space. And obviously practicing social distancing, having tables and chairs spread out, but we're going to add some cool features to it. We possibly want to get into doing some outdoor movie nights, have a little stage area for some live music, doing some different art activities within the plaza, different programming events for kids and families, pet stations, bike shacks, shade, painting, and just really livening up this area. And this will be the first kind of parklet space that we take on, but then we're going to kind of go up and down the corridor and look for other cool spaces that we can transform into more of a community space. And these spaces are very important towards the livability of an area, because you just might want to, show up and hang out and meet your community in the space. And this is where people talk and interact and kind of get to know their community. And with outdoor dining, obviously taking a huge preeminence now because of COVID, we want to add that in all the spaces and have a little QR code you can scan and hopefully have the food delivered to where you are, and be able to eat and drink out there. So I think that's going to be a really exciting project, and we're going to be looking for volunteers to help make the space. And so some of it will be painting, some of it will be landscaping. I think part of the project calls for cutting down this retaining wall, so we need somebody who knows their way around a chainsaw. Actually, I was kind of excited about that. I've never used the chainsaw, but I don't know if Costco has. We might need to buy one if you guys carry chainsaws at Costco. But That would be a cool tool to use, but it's going to be fun. And we want to do more community projects that really activate spaces up and down the corridor. Couple other things coming up. Actually, in that plaza, we have the grand opening of Scrimp Shack, which is Friday at 10 a.m. That's being put on by our Mount Vernon Chamber of Commerce, Mount Vernon Lee Chamber of Commerce here. So that's a new restaurant, but we want to encourage everybody to support, obviously, our local businesses. A lot of them are hurting right now. And most of them have precautions in place to keep you safe. You can eat outdoors. You can order takeout delivery. You can go online on our website, sfdc.org. We have a directory for a lot of the businesses who are still open and have different ways that you can support them. So please do that. Keep in touch on our website, sfdc.org. We have an e-newsletter you can sign up for, and then you can learn about when we're going to have the parklet space open and opportunities to volunteer for that if you're interested. And we can also put up information about all of our winners if you're interested in staying at the Quality Inn, buying a condo at the Montebello, or buying a chainsaw at Costco. We're going to have to check on that. But no, just support the community. And I think what's going to be coming, it's pushed back a little bit, in the next 5 years, there's going to be a lot of changes and some construction. But when it's done, I think it's going to make a huge difference to the corridor, to the livability, to the types of quality new developments that you're going to see on the corridor. And so we're really excited. So in closing, I want to thank everybody who voted. I want to thank Alexis, my colleague, who really did the behind the scenes work to making this awards possible. And then we're looking forward next year to hosting this in person again with food and drink, because we know that's what really motivates people to come out to these things: food, drink, and networking, to really be able to talk with your community and see them in person. We're hoping to be able to do that again soon. So thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you soon. Take care and stay safe. Good night.